Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. Today we are reviewing House of the Dragon Episode 10, also known as the grand finale of Season 1. And it was not as dramatic as I hoped it would be, but it was good. However, some of the episode was a little bit meh. Don't get me wrong, Arrax and Vhagar fighting was very good. Per Arrax, he was such a pretty dragon. As for Lucerys, I knew it was coming, so I didn't get attached in the first place. The whole scene was interesting. I found it intriguing because it seemed as if Vhagar was acting of his own accord. And maybe so was Arrax. And now I am questioning whether dragons tend to act on their riders' baser instincts. I think I will make a video about this later on in the month. Also, it would explain Daenerys and Drogon's actions in the finale of Game of Thrones. It also leads into the warging theory, and if wargs aren't properly trained, the animal can take control. Also, there was quite a lot of symbolism this episode. I thought the fact that Rhaenyra was crowned with her father's crown instead of the conqueror's crown was a great nod to how people perceive her. And by people, of course, I mean the small folk of Westeros. Otto Hightower coming to see Rhaenyra at Dragonstone was good, but not book accurate, so for me it fell a little flat. I think it would have worked better if the scene had been Alicent coming to explain to Rhaenyra Viserys' last words, and Rhaenyra trying to explain the prophecy, and neither of them listening to each other fully. I feel it would have been more realistic, as people do talk over each other when they argue. Also, if you like Daemon Targaryen, after this episode, screw you. The guy killed his first wife and then strangled his second wife, not just his wife, his queen, after she gave birth to their stillborn baby, and he is obviously so jealous of her. I love a good villain, but the only reason he is a villain is because he is jealous. That is not good plot writing. He is simply violent for the sake of being violent. Rhaenyra's birth scene was hard to watch, especially while I was trying to eat a bowl of soup, but I liked it. However, I think the baby should have been more deformed. It should have had wings and a tail, not just an eyeless blob. I think that would have proven that incest doesn't always work in the Targaryens' favour, and it would have been a callback to Dany's deformed baby at the end of Season 1. Also, I was expecting for Rhaenyra to lament the fact that this was her only daughter and that the Greens had killed her by making her go into labour early. However, that was never brought up. I kept waiting for that line. It's in the book. The painted table looked way cooler in House of the Dragon than it ever did in Game of Thrones. I don't know if that's because they lit it up or what, but definitely set design gets 10 out of 10 in my book. The sea snake is back, and he just talks a lot and doesn't really do anything so far. I really want to see him lay down the law, tell his wife what to do, march around his boats. And we haven't seen any of that. We haven't heard anything about his journeys to the other side of the world and how he made the Valerians one of the richest houses in Westeros through trade. All of these things would prove what a good commander of men he is, but they're not being brought up. Rhaenyra was very cool, calm, and collected this episode, so I hope she goes batshit crazy at the beginning of Season 2, like she does in the book after her son Lucerys is killed. Also, I have a prediction here. Princess Rhaenys is going to die in the first episode of Season 2, 100%. They're going to want to reel us back into the series with a big dragon fight and a main character dying. I can't see them holding out until the end of the series to do this. They could do it mid-season and take a break, but I think they'll do it in the first episode. Also, I enjoyed the Stark and Baratheon name dropping here, and getting to see the Lord of Storm's End in his big chair being all, I am Robert. Prince Daemon not knowing about prophecy involving the Song of Ice and Fire was kind of obvious. I was surprised how shocked Rhaenyra was at this. The guy doesn't know anything. He's never probably read a book. He's just annoying. I could 100% see Daemon from the books reading and being interested in history, but TV show Daemon doesn't strike me as somebody who loves to read. I can't wait for Blood and Cheese and all of that to go down and everyone to see how right I have been about Daemon this whole time. He's a dick. Love Aemon One Eye or not, his glowing missing eye was very cool. For those of you who don't know, he shoved a sapphire into his eye after the eye was having to be removed because, of course, it was slashed across with a knife. I hope that glowing represents magic later on in the series because we all know he gets involved in that. Overall, I think I preferred episode 9 to episode 10 of House of the Dragon. The big finale was slightly anticlimactic for me, apart from the dragon scene at the end, Vhagar and the Greens for life. Remember to like, comment and subscribe so you will not miss the rest of my House of the Dragon content. I am going to have my season 1 recap coming out next week, and I will be making videos on Sarah Snow, dragons' basic instincts, and my predictions for season 2. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell. Until next time, winter is coming. Bye!